All right, everybody. Welcome, YouTube. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about Clair Obscur Expedition 33. What a game. Um, there's a lot to say about it. I I'm not entirely sure where to start. Of course, I did write some stuff down, but it's a it's quite a game. I know I'm pretty late to the party to speak about it. It's the first video going up on this channel, and I wanted to be about Expedition 33 because it's an amazing game. Done well, powerful. Uh, wish more games were like this and this different in a good way, I guess. But I guess for those of you that don't know what Clair Expedition 33 is, it's made by French studio Sandfall Interactive. As of right now, recording this, checked, pretty sure it's 31 developers plus a dog, which is awesome that they have a dog. Apparently comes into this studio every day and stuff like that, so they all put it on the roster, I guess you'd say. It's a turn-based fighting RPG. I wouldn't say fighting, turn-based RPG game that is very not Souls-like in a sense, but very punishing if you're not parrying and dodging uh, during the enemy's turn, which is a great thing for the combat. It's very engaging in that aspect, and touch on that a little bit more. Um, but yeah, 33 developers, I think, or 31, and plus the dog developers. I think took them 5 years to make. One guy left Ubisoft, went off to do his thing, and it was a passion project for a while. He kept finding people here and there, and then it just became a thing. And then they found a publisher, and they worked it out. And obviously, it's on Xbox Game Pass, which you could play it for free if you have Game Pass, but obviously you have to pay for it if you don't have it already. But I mean, it's a great deal. You could get it and play through it within a month. I mean, if you're a completionist, maybe not, but depending on your time. Uh, so I want to start by talking about the overall game. I think story. I think the huge basis of this game, huge thing that's pulling everyone in, besides some of the combat, is story. My wife is not a story person, and it pulled her in, and she's liking it because there's other things in this game that frustrates her, but she wants to keep playing it for the story, which is pretty incredible. Right off the bat, within the first hour playing this game, it's very deep, emotional, heart wrenching in some spots, confusing in good ways that you just want to find out what's happening. You just want to keep going and keep going, and what's around the next corner? What's the next cutscene gonna give me? What's the next emotional moment? And I think there's moments in the beginning of this for me, as a father of two, that really pulled out my heartstrings when kids were losing their parents and stuff, and they're just like, and it just, that got me, um which is amazing. A story like that where I didn't skip anything. There's things in the camp, when you have camps and you're talking to the characters and everything, that just build the story in a whole new, more exciting way, that you're really bonding with all these characters and stuff. It's so good. So the story, 10 out of 10. I don't rank anything like that. 5 out of 5, whatever the top number, go for it. Great story. Combat, I've always been a huge turn-based, I want to say fanatic, but I love turn-based, and I kind of fell off of Final Fantasy when they kind of got away from the turn-based aspect. Final Fantasy 7 Remake and Rebirth. I haven't played enough Rebirth to judge it, but a little bit in it. I think you could change it in Remake to that. Didn't feel the same to me. Final Fantasy 10's great. 12 was almost there, but like, love 7. First Final Fantasy game I ever played. I was old enough to play all the other ones. I just never saw them. But 7, 8 was pretty fun. 9 was my jam. That was the first one I owned and played. And then obviously 10 was great. The turn-based in this is so good. There's so many things that you could build off of, that you could plan multiple turns ahead, and how you combine all your characters into doing different things. It's so engaging and like interesting. Uh, in the beginning, you could get kind of lost by a lot of the information that you're getting. I think that's one thing my wife is and was having trouble with, is it throws a lot of information at you in the beginning about the combat system, and it's hard to kind of follow sometimes. But I think it's amazing. The more deeper, more I'm on a second playthrough, and it's just like banging right now. Like, and it's just, once you get it and understand it, the dodging, the parrying, it just makes you feel so good. Like, you play turn-based and sometimes you forget you need to, well, in turn-based, you just like play your turn and you wait for the enemy. This, sometimes you play your turn and you forget you need to pay really close attention to the enemy attacks, and they whoop you. And it's devastating. And you're like, oh no, I wasn't paying attention. I think it's great. I think the whole combat through the whole game, the pacing of them teaching you different mechanics and how each character works is well paced. I think when you're getting characters and they're teaching those things, I think it's well paced. It's just a lot of information, but it's so good when you're like, you're getting and you're like, okay, now I understand this game. And then they give you another mechanic. Or like, oh, okay, now I got it. They give you a character that's completely different than everybody else. And it's great. Like, each character having their own mechanics, so it's not the same. Oh, they just have fire spells, use their fire magic stuff, and this person's just physical damage and do it that, like, everybody's different, and you could play them similar or different and change the way things work with pictos and all those things, like morphings, not morphing, but like changing the way a skill stacked with another skill, uh, marking enemies, so then in turn another person's attack could do more damage because they have a attack that hurts more marked people. And I think it's just, well, that was kind of confusing the way I said that, but a lot of overlapping mechanics that you could really like get your damage numbers up really high, stacking certain things, a lot of different elements that work differently, of like enemies that have shields, enemies that are like water or fire. Obviously, that combination and that stuff is really good. Uh, but like I said, the kind of only thing is like when you do get a lot of this, sometimes it's a lot to read. But once you, if you don't get it, if you just play them a couple of times and mess with their skills, and then it kind of clicks and you kind of get how each person works, which is good. It's not like completely overwhelming. Uh, I think in the beginning I was kind of like wanting to just rush through the game because I didn't want it spoiled for myself, because that's like the worst for me. Um, but I think playing and like knowing the whole story and just kind of relaxing and just getting into the groove, it's just really, really good. Uh, Now, music. The music in this game is phenomenal. I don't speak any French. I love this music. And it's crazy how the way they found the composer was the game director just on some obscure site, pun intended, that they just both happened to be on relatively together, like a small site, and he posted some of his music and he happened to show up and see some of his music, and it was just like a perfect fit. I'm sure everyone has heard about the music or even heard the music in other videos, and it is peak. I think it's great. And that's another thing with pacing. The music doesn't stay the same throughout the game. The later you get in the game, the music changes in different things. The boss music and stuff is completely different, and it's great. And I love it. And I have the soundtrack on my phone. It's great. uh, so definitely, if you just love music and that, go for it. But the music plus the world and art direction of this game, I don't know how they just got it to fit and come together. The passion of this game, of them just vibing together and all making something they really loved and really wanted to make, shows. And you could tell it shows. The design of the world and everything in the world, with the music giving you that sense of imagination, I guess, and the art together, the visual art, I guess, the visual display of how the sky looks, the skybox and the creatures and all that. It was good. I think the length of this game, great. I don't think it was, I flew through it, but I think if you're just a completionist or you're a person that loves exploring other things, there's so much for you to go out and look at. There's so much stuff for you to build and learn on your character. There's like little there's like little things on every little place. There's no world map, so you got to kind of look around and see what you could find. And there's all these like little space. Oh, you go around here. Oh, there's an item. Like anytime you're like, oh, what's over there? That kind of looks like a hidden spot. It normally is like a hidden spot, and you go there and you find something, or you find a boss, or you find like an item, or you just find a different way to go somewhere to find an item you didn't even know was there. It's great. I think it's the perfect combination for the length of an RPG. It's not bloated with anything that do this and do this so you can do this. It's not like that. You just follow the story and then like, oh, what's over here while you're running through the open world if you want. Or even in the tighter spaces that they have within the world where you're kind of just exploring in that. The verticality of in there and everything's great. Um the bosses, I mean, I could have said this back in combat, but the bosses are just so well made. My problem is I have terrible rhythm, and these bosses are really good at messing me up. Like they pretend like they're gonna hit you, and then they don't, and then they hit you, and then it's great. It gets you like thinking, it gets you engaged, it gets you trying to dodge and parry, or figure out if you should dodge or parry. What's the strongest thing against this guy? Should I kill the ads that are around him first, or should I just really go after him? And like, what are these ads going to do? I don't know if they're going to heal them or not. It just, well, the passion, like I said, the passion of all these people together making this game and all just working together, it was like the perfect combination of all this stuff. And I'm sure you've heard it everywhere. If you haven't heard it here, it's phenomenal. Hopefully, game of the year. I believe it earned it. I haven't played every game this year, but this game right here, phenomenal. I think it's gonna be one of my favorite games of all time. And I played this, and what was it? It's the third today as I'm recording this. I played this and beat this over 2 weeks ago. When it came out, I beat it within the first week. Uh, and I've just been thinking about it and playing it, watching my wife play it, and just so many good things coming from this. People at work that I'm able to talk to about this that loved it. Uh, Watching the internet and everyone around this game just come together and like, why isn't double A, triple A studios doing stuff like this? And I think it was freedom. I think they just had freedom, and I don't think they were constricted by anybody, by some big wig or people owning anything. And I think it was great. And I think we need more games like this. And I had to get my thoughts out. It had to be my video. I needed to make something. And if you appreciate me talking about video games, you want to hang out, video games, tech, anything like that, go ahead and hit that sub button. Hit that like button. I'm sure it'll help me. It's my first video, and it'll help this channel out a ton. And I'll be here a lot more often. No matter what, I'm here. Video games are great. I love them. Peace out, guys. Thank you.